कथामुः। श्रीशुक उवाच साधु पृष्ठं महाभाग त्वया भागवतोत्तम यन्नूतनयशीशस्य शृण्वन्नपि कथामुः। श्रीशुक उवाच साधु पृष्ठं महाभाग त्वया भागवतोत्तम यन्नूतनयशीशस्य शृण्वन्नपि कथामुः। Synonyms purport, synonym translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shuka Vacha, Sukadev Goswami said, Sadhu Prishtham, I have become very much honored by your inquiry. Mahabhaga, you are a greatly fortunate personality. Tvaya, by you, Bhagavatottamam, O best of devotees, yet because Nutanayasi, you are making newer and newer, Ishasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shravanamapi, although you are continuously hearing, Katham, the pastimes, Muh, again and again. Translation Srila Sukadev Goswami said, O best of devotees, most fortunate Parikshit, you have inquired very nicely, for although constantly hearing the pastimes of the Lord, you are perceiving his activities to be newer and newer. Hare Krishna, some of you are unmuted. If you can mute, that will be great. Purport. Unless one is very advanced in Krishna consciousness, one cannot stick to hearing the pastimes of the Lord constantly. Nityam Nav Navaya Manam. Even though advanced devotees hear continually about the Lord for years, they still feel that these topics are coming to them as newer and fresher. Therefore, such devotees cannot give up hearing of the pastimes of the Lord Krishna. Premanjan Chakchurita Bhakti Vilochanena Shanta Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. The word Shanta is used to refer to person who have developed love for Krishna. Yam Shyam Sundar Achintya Guna Swarup Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Brahma Samhita 5.38. Parikshit Maharaj therefore is addressed as Bhagottamam, Bhagavatottamam, the best of devotees. Because unless one is very much elevated in devotional service, one cannot feed ecstasy from hearing more and appreciate the topics as ever fresher and newer. We'll do the Mangalacharan. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapad Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Kalpataru Veshya Kripa Sindhu Beyocha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Srila Sukdev Goswami said, O best of devotees, most fortunate Parikshit, you have inquired very nicely. For although constantly hearing the pastimes of the Lord, you are perceiving his activities to be newer and newer. And what's the inquiry about? What is the inquiry? Sukadev Goswami was very much encouraged when Maharaj Parikshit asked him why the cowherd boys did not discuss the death of Aghasura until after 1 year had passed. So, this is the inquiry which is happening. So far, what has happened is that Aghasura was killed by Krishna. Aghasura is a demon who is the brother of Putana and Bakasura. And he was actually incited by, ordered by Kansa, and he wanted to take the revenge of his brother and his sister's killing. And he thought that I will go and kill Krishna, and that way I will pay my debt to my brothers and sisters, and I will also take their revenge, and I'll also fulfill the order of Kamsa. So he expanded himself into this huge snake, and then we know all this pastime that uh, all the boys entered into the mouth of this Aghasura, who has become like a big snake, like a gufa cave, and uh, Krishna killed. Now, this pastime, when all these wonderful gopas went back to their home, they are discussing and they are describing to their parents. And another thing was that whenever these kids will describe these wonderful activities of Krishna, none of the parents will actually believe. They will always see Krishna as a small, sweet little boy. And, sometimes um, kids come and then they talk about things which are, magnified in the awe and reverence about, some incident which had happened. And then parents know that, oh, probably somewhat of it is true, but not all of it is true. And no, they are not ready to accept it. So just like that, all these, uh, they will, all these Vrindavan Vasis will hear these pastimes about Krishna from their boys. Um, but they will say that, okay, Krishna is a wonderful boy, but no, he's our sweet little boy. He's not doing all these things. These kids are just saying. So just like that, here also again same thing is happening. Aghasura is killed. All the boys are coming and telling this, and parents are like, oh. But when this pastime is being described by Sukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj mentioned that they are telling this after a year has passed. And they are telling it in a present tense, as if it happened today or yesterday. So he caught up on this point. He's very attentive listener. And then he's asking this question that why these boys are describing this killing of Aghasura, which has happened a year back, as if it happened today and in present tense. And on that, Rupadev Goswami is praising Parikshit Maharaj, and he's saying that you have made me, Sadhu Prishtam, you have actually, I have been very much honored by this inquiry, and you are Bhagavat Uttamam, because you are very attentively listening. So, what has happened is that this Aghasura was a demon which was very, very powerful. And that demon uh, was so powerful that all these demigods will also be scared of him. They will actually uh, drink nectar every day to prolong their life. And even then, they will not trust that whether this nectar will work or not when Aghasura will attack. So when these demigods will were got to know that Krishna is killing, they all assembled and they started watching this pastime which is happening from the sky. And one of the demigods, Brahma, he also appeared. And when Aghasura is killed, then they are showering the flowers. After that, what happens is Krishna goes on and then he looks at, he's going with his other gopas uh, and taking care of the calves. And then he sees a nice place where there is it's clean, and then also on it's on the bank of the river, so there is water. It's a sand place, so they can sit nicely. It's clean, and then by the sand there is nice fresh grass as well. So Krishna says that this is perfect place for having lunch. Let's have lunch here while calves can graze the grass. So all the devatas are watching this, and then Krishna sits in the middle, and all the gopas are they take out their lunch boxes. Some of them had, some of them did not have. So, but anyways, they all mix up and then they start feeding each other, including Krishna. Okay? Now these demigods are wondering that he is supreme personality of Godhead. He only eats out of yajna. And here I'm seeing that with the same hand, all these gopas are feeding themselves, they are feeding Krishna, they are feeding other gopas. What is going on? Um, this doesn't seem like a very supreme personality of Godhead kind of a trait. He's eating the Mahaprasad. He creates Mahaprasad, and then he whatever he accepts, he creates that, he turns into that bhoga into prasad. Now here, once a devotee takes, that becomes Mahaprasad, and now he is accepting that. So doesn't seem like all right. Primarily in the mind of Brahma, this is what is going on. And by that time, all these calves are grazing the grass, fresh grass, and they are slowly moving away and away and away, being allured by the freshness of the grass deeper in the woods. And one of the Gopa boys sees, and then he says, "No more calves." And then he screams, he gets scared that where are all the calves? And then he screams, "Krishna, where are all the calves?" I think they have gone deeper into the jungle. And these boys are very freshly scared of the deepness of the caves and the jungle and the woods, because they had this experience of entering the um, mouth of Aghasura. So they don't want to go in there. So Krishna says, "No problem. You all are having prasad. So please continue having your prasad and continue having your lunch. I will go and look for the calves." Now, when Krishna goes and then tries to find the calves, he cannot see the calves because Brahma, he thought a mischievous idea that I want to test what kind of supreme personality of Godhead he is. That on one side he kills such a big demon called Aghasura, on the other side he is just like behaving like a common person and enjoying with his friends and then eating from their hands. So he takes all the calves, Brahma, and then takes them into a cave far away and then puts them into Yoga Nidra. Now Krishna goes and then he sees that there are no calves. He returns and then he sees that there are no gopas as well. Because when Krishna goes into the woods to find the calves, Brahma comes, takes all the gopa boys and then takes them into the same cave and then puts them into Yoga Nidra. So that's what he does, is stealing of the boys and the calves. Now Supreme Personality of Godhead, he immediately understands that this is what which has happened, that uh, Brahma has stolen the calves and the gopa boys. Now Krishna thinks that I cannot go just like that to Vrindavan and report that all the boys are stolen. So what does Krishna do? Krishna expands into each and every boy and each and every calf, exactly like them. Whatever they look like, whatever they wore, whatever their behavior was, just like that. He expands and then he returns to Vrindavan as if nothing has happened. And when he returns to Vrindavan, uh, all the gopis, all the cows, their love for their offspring has increased multiple times, because, and they don't know why, but it is because all of them, each boy in the Vrindavan on that day, and each calf in Vrindavan on that day is nothing but Krishna. This Krishna has expanded himself. So they are showering their love, all these mothers, cows, and the gopis, they're showering their love. And they're showering so much that they the growth of these calves and the growth of the boys have increased. So it has doubled, quadrupled. So in the amount of time, a boy goes 1 year old boy, whatever he grows. Now all these Gopa boys are growing double at that speed, because they're being showered so much love. They're being so much affection. They're being fed so affectionately, and this is what is happening. Now, in the meantime, Balaramji is also Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he doesn't understand what's going on. So he brings his Divya Chakchu, and then he has this ability to see past, present, and future. So with that, he actually observes, and then he sees that all these boys, Gopa boys, all these calves, they are nothing but Krishna. And this is what has happened. Brahma has stolen the original boys and the calves. Now, there is another interesting thing which I actually read in Garga Samhita when I was reading for this class. That during this time, because the boys are growing so fast, that their mothers think that they have become suitable for marriage. And this story, this pastime is going on for a year. And in that time period, all the boys are actually married to different gopis. So this is another pastime, that when Krishna is playing with the gopis and all, they're actually, even after this Leela gets over, it's nothing but they are actually married to Krishna while this Leela was going. So that's a really nice, interesting detail. Now, in this process of stealing the boys and the calves, going and putting it into Yoga Nidra, and then coming back, about a year has passed. For Brahma, it is only a few moments, but because Brahma's 12 hours is 1,000 yuga cycles in this material world. So by that calculation, even though it was a moment for Brahma, he just went, put the calves and the boys for Yoga Nidra and came back and see. In that time period, a year has on this earthly planet elapsed. And then Brahma is mesmerized. He sees that nothing has changed here. All the calves, all the cowherd boys are there exactly as if I have left. So looks like there's something going on. So he goes and then goes back to check that are they still in the sleep or not. And then he goes and then finds them exactly sleeping. And then he comes back and then he doesn't know what is going on. And during this period, the love and affection between the mothers and the cowherd boys and cows and calves has really increased. So Brahma uh, thinks that this is a yoga maya, which is this is Maya, this is a bigger magician. And Srila Prabhupada explains that um, just like when there is a jugnu, a firefly in the middle of the night or when the sun has set, uh, it can show its magic. It looks really magical that the firefly is blinking, and then we all can see that nice wonderful. But as soon as the sun comes or the sun's magic comes, the firefly's magic is no more uh, visible. So similarly, when Krishna performs his activities, his pastimes, his Maya, then the Maya of Brahma is no more visible. So Brahma is doing his own thing. He is really, the controller of the passion. The three modes of material nature, and Brahma is the controller of the mode of passion. Not only that, Brahma is the uh, master of the goddess of knowledge. Saraswati Devi is under his control. But just like he says in his Brahma Samhita Stuti to Supreme Personality of Godhead, that Vedesu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktav, that Krishna is Durlabham. He cannot be achieved through the knowledge part. So even though all the Vedas uh, are actually Brahma is the proponent of the Vedas. He brings Vedas to this world. He is the master of the goddess of knowledge, Saraswati Devi. But still, he cannot understand Krishna. But at the same time, Atma Bhakta, all these Gopas, they are actually playing with Krishna. They have understood Krishna. Their love for Krishna is unparalleled. And that's why they have achieved Krishna. So now Brahma realizes his mistake, and then he falls down uh, like a stick. Um, he does his dandavat to Supreme Personality of Godhead. He realizes his mistake, that he was trying to test no one, nothing less but Supreme Personality of Godhead. What a fool he is. Uh, Brahma's position is that one time when Brahma approached, um, it's a story which is mentioned at a couple of places. That Brahma approaches Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then the Dwarpals ask that what do we tell to what do we go and tell to Krishna that who has come? And he very proudly says that I am Brahma. Go and tell that Brahma has come, thinking that I am the one who is creating this world. I am the one uh, is uh, uh, who is running this creation. And then they ask that which Brahma? He thinks, oh, there are more Brahmas. I thought I'm the only one. But then he realizes that there are more Brahmas. Krishna invokes all the Brahmas, and then those Brahmas are even more powerful than this Brahma, who has only four heads. He sees that there are other Brahmas who some of them have 1,000 heads, because the universe which they are taking care of is so much more bigger and so much more complex. So thinking that uh, Lord Brahma prays, understands his mistake, and then is actually forgiven by Krishna. Krishna takes away his Maya. And then, when he takes away his Maya, then Brahma can see that, okay, all these Gopa boys, all these calves are nothing but Krishna themselves. He can see them in the Chaturbhuj form, can see them as Supreme Personality of Godhead. He realizes his mistakes, and then After this, Brahma starts offering wonderful, wonderful prayers to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. So this is what we can learn from this pastime of Brahma Vimohan Lila, that even though Brahma is the master of the uh, goddess of knowledge, even though he's the one who knows Vedas back, like back of his hand, inside out, but he cannot understand the Supreme Personality of God. It's so, so, so rare. Even he gets mesmerized. Okay? So uh, that's why he's in his prayers writing that Vedesu Durlabham and Adurlabham Atma Bhakta. Atma Bhakta is the one who has surrendered to Krishna. And only through the surrender to the Krishna, one can understand, one can get Krishna. There is no other way. So would like to stop here and then see if there are any discussions, comments, realizations one wants to say. I see Amritanand Prabhu, you raising your hand. Hare Krishna, please go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept humble obeisance, all praise to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu. Such a sweet class. If you could repeat the pastime, I think you said Garga Samhita, where the Gopas are growing really big and they get married. I couldn't catch that properly. If you could repeat it, please.
Sure, Prabhuji. I can do that. Let me read through. I'll read through in English what is written, Hindi, and then I will try to translate it. आहा, गोपियां और गायें श्री हरि की माता बन गई. Now the gopis and the cows have become the mother of the Sri Hari. गोप बालक एवं गोवत्स स्नेहाधिक्य के कारण पहले की अपेक्षा चौगुने अधिक बढ़ने लगे. Means the gopas and the calves, because of the snehadhikya, because of the abundance, a lot of love, they are um, they are growing with the speed 4 times the normal speed. गोपियां अपने बालकों की उबटन स्नान आदि के द्वारा स्नेहमयी सेवा करके तब श्री कृष्ण के दर्शन के लिए आए. So they have they are bathing their boys and then coming to take darshan of Krishna. इसके बाद अनेक बालकों का विवाह हो गया. After that many kids got married. So kids were who? Kids were nothing but Krishna only, and then they are getting married to different gopis. अब श्री कृष्ण स्वरूप अपने पति उन बालकों के साथ करोड़ों गोप बधुएं प्रीति करने लगी. Now now these these gopis are nothing but they have achieved Krishna as their husband, and they are you know just like their boys are also some of the gopis boys are Krishna, some of the gopis husbands are Krishna, and they are living nicely and loving nicely. So, does that make sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Got it. Thank you, Prabhu. And this is from Garga Samhita.
Yes, Prabhu. This is from Garga Samhita.
Do you know if we have any English edition of it?
There must be. I can look it up, Prabhuji.
If you find, will you send me the link, please?
I'll do that, Prabhu. Sure.
Thanks, Prabhu. Thank you.
I see Niru Mataji, you have raise your hand.
I had a similar question, what Amritanand Prabhuji is saying. But when they came back home, the mother did not realize that this was not my children, or what happened, or curious about the what happened exactly.
No, Mataji, the mothers did not realize that it's not, they are not their children, because Krishna has transformed into just like their boys. But at the
No,
same time, actually, mother's affection for Krishna had increased because uh, it was Krishna.
no, but when they came back from Brahmaji's house,
Yeah.
they,
Yes.
they I'm
At that time, I didn't actually read or come across anywhere, but I saw a TV series produced by Big Cinema, which is I think Reliance, which is based on Bhagavatam. And
Mhm.
there I did see that when boys came back, the original boys came back, mothers did notice the lack in the luster and slight lack in their affection, and they couldn't understand that why yesterday my boys, I was looking at them with a lot of affection, but today my affection has slightly reduced for the boys. They couldn't understand, but this is something which I'll have to verify with the, but I did see in the picturization form of this story.
So what happens to the duplicate kids? They live in the same house with the gopi again.
No duplicate. There are no duplicate kids. One, the original kids came, and then uh, Krishna in their form disappeared. Yes.
It's interesting exactly what happened to know. But we
Yeah.
can't, that's the year, but it's we can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very different, Mataji. Yes.
Nice story, and I enjoyed listening to the story.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nice Brahma Vimohana Lila. Just wanted to share whatever I heard in Katha and different classes. So, in this Lila, when Brahmaji took all the Gopas, right? So, Krishna manifested in their form, right? But the astrologer said, this is the perfect time for the wedding, like for marriage, right? So for young boys and girls in there. So everyone was Krishna because all gopis they wanted to marry. And Krishna is so merciful, always so compassionate. He always fulfills the desire for of his devotees. So he everything is by Krishna's mercy, right? Whatever is going on, we think it's very difficult if person doesn't believe. Without belief, we cannot. We think, oh, it's like myth. But when we have trust, faith in Krishna, he can do anything. All the pastime, even Jai Vijay pastime, all this Agasur, all this Bakasur, it's not by chance. It's by Krishna's mercy, right?
Krishna's plan.
So, yeah, Krishna's plans, yeah. So, he planned that because devotees, all gopis wanted to marry and everything is reconnected with everything, it's correlated. So, it's not like kind of story or something. It's real pastime happened there for just the making happy all the devotees. And that time, all gopis married to Gopas, which Krishna was in that form of Gopas. And they were just enjoying. Even calves, they say calves also. Cows were thinking, how I'm feeling so happy today, just feeding my calf, right? Because that was Krishna, because Brahma took calves also. So that pastime is just it's not by chance. It happened. It's by Krishna's plan. So I just heard in Katha. So it's so amazing. We don't believe all these things and we don't see. We think, oh, it could have been happened or not. But if we have trust in Krishna, then we can see that real picture, what would have been happened that time. So just I heard in Katha, so just wanted to share.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Wonderful. I really wanted to. This is wonderful book by Hariparsad Prabhu, Bhakti Rasayanam. He gives hidden meanings behind these pastimes. I was looking for, but I couldn't find this pastime in here yet. This is only the first part he has published, so I'm waiting for other parts, eagerly waiting. But those he where he is expanding on Sri Harisuri's, Srila Harisuri's, where he explains what are the hidden meanings or the different meanings behind Krishna's pastime. And if I remember correctly, Mataji, what you're sharing, that's actually one of the meanings why, or one of the hidden reasons why Krishna performed, or this Brahma Vimohan Lila happened, because all these gopis had desired to marry Krishna, and Krishna wanted to fulfill. So that was another reason why Brahma Vimohan Lila happened. Thank you so much for sharing.
Very well.
Any other comments? Looks like not. So over to you, Simeshwar Prabhu. Really want to thank you and then seek your blessing. Thank you so much for engaging in this seva. It's more for my purification. Hare Krishna. Looks like Prabhuji is caught up. So what do we do? We can chant Vaishnav Pranam mantra and end the class.
Yeah, we can do, Prabhuji. What Amrutananda Prabhuji is saying, we can ask Amrutananda.
I think Prabhuji also dropped off.
Yeah, we can conclude, Prabhuji, then.
Thank you so much. We'll just chant the Vaishnav Pranam mantra. Vancha kalpataruvascha
Sindhu eva cha
patitanam
patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnaveभ्यो
Namo
namo
Namaha.
namaः.
Ananta
Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderfully narrated. Thank you, Haribol.
Thank you so much, Akhilesh Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.